First Gaming here once again for another Already rant. This is really small, but I'm going to make a rant because they're giving us mathematically impossible to solve questions or incomprehensible questions because the questions are worded and made so poorly. Also, we have this little square with an X right here, right there, where my cursor is at. And that proves this is probably just a missing angle. Or this could be the freaking program's just so glitchy because Rob Waldron's too stupid to do anything about it because he's a idiotic piece of crap. And yeah, and the reason why this is mathematically insolvable is because the only way you can get 180 is impossible. Because, there's no real value to x. Nothing truly works. And there's no value of x that you can actually use to actually make this true. The only real value, the closest value to find, and in angle math, you cannot use a decimal, which makes this even worse because the only true value is 39.5, and I already won't let you type in a decimal. So, yeah, that's how this question is impossible to solve. Because see, when I try to put in a decimal, here's what it does. And that's proof that if you're watching this and you're a superintendent of accounting and planning to use iReady, don't use it. This problem has way too many bugs. The problem's randomly generated, impossible to solve. And yeah. Also, if you decide to do iReady and you're watching this, county superintendents, and you don't listen to my thing, then you're stupid. You need to go get a life and touch grass. Because you are a stupid weeb. And that proves why iReady sucks.
The measures of angles RQS and NQL are equal. Write an equation you can solve for x.
And also, we know the measures are the same. But that doesn't mean we cannot... But that means we cannot solve it because there is no real true value to solving it. Because in order to make this question true, there would have to be two completely different variables. And if there's only one variable used to solve this, then there is no real value to x. No real value. Meaning, no value will work. And in order to make this equal this, you would have to have two different things. So, if, for example, this is equal to 139.25, and you multiply that by 4 to get 157, and that to 23, that equals 180. Because this is a straight line, that is true. And that would mean technically can't find it. And if this were an 90-degree angle, then you would have to solve that. Thinking outside the box. But you can't find the measure to that. Because if you're trying something to find 190, in fact, 4x would equal... I'm trying to figure this out. 4x would equal 67. I mean, if you divide that by 4, 67 divided by 4. Right, let me get the calculator working, if it will work. Okay. So, 67 divided by 4. And this gives us 16.75. And that's... If you add 16.5 16.75 plus 44, that will not give you 90. It will give you 60.75. And that proves that iReady is failing you, and it is giving you mathematically impossible equations. Also, some of these are actually correct, but they're still incomprehensible due to their very poor wording. The wording is so trash. Rob Waldron has no ELA knowledge whatsoever because he can't even spell or use words correctly in a sentence. And this proves that mathematically he may be 5th grade in math knowledge, but he is like the kindergarten ELA knowledge. He knows how to spell words, but he can't use them properly. He can speak, but he can't write. See, this idiot made this math site, and if you can't spell and you're going to make word problems, then don't. Because it will not work anyway whatsoever.
Here is one way to solve the equation. X equals...
And besides, why the heck would you even make worded problems that are incomprehensible anyway? Well, I mean, if you can't make a word problem, then don't. It's that simple. X does not equal 7. Going to show you that I'm going to prove this wrong. Because if you use 7 plus 44 and you're trying to get a 180-degree angle, and if that measure equals...
Now find the measure of angle PQN.
7 plus 44, you get 51, which will add on to the same measure, 51, and you will get 100, whatever. So it's not a complementary or supplementary angle. And if you actually think that they're probably going to give you a complementary or supplementary angle because of using that, you'd be wrong. Which technically proves that there is no way to solve X. So if they give you a angle that is not a straight line or a 90-degree angle, and there's multiple angles that make it up, and if they don't give you 90 or 180, then technically it is impossible to find the value of X because you can't define what the freaking angle is if it's an X, because it's a variable and it's an unknown value. Unknown value. And I'm also autistic. The fact that an autistic 12-year-old knows more than a 40-year-old adult who went to college and should have more wisdom, he doesn't have any knowledge whatsoever. He's wise, but he does not know anything. And if you're wise, then that wisdom will come to no use at all. None. It's stupid. It's stupid that you can actually think something like that. See, it will equal 51, and if it says it's wrong, yeah, it says it's wrong.
First, find the measure of angle NQL by substituting 7
like
for X in the expression X plus 44.
F, and you need to just say frick her, or him, or whatever. So, yeah, freak the math teachers. Not freak the math teachers, it's not their fault. Unless they like iReady. Then they're stupid. The only reason why your teacher might be disappointed that you hate iReady is because that's literally part of their job, and they have to use it. the fact that their tool that is given to them is failing them and they can't switch is absolutely painful. The teachers need more power because the teachers know better than the principals. Because the principals are idiots. And that is evidence that your school, if they assign you this, they may need a new principal, or your county may need a new superintendent for their education department. Also, I don't have as much wisdom as a normal adult. And the fact that an adult that has went to college has less wisdom than a normal adult proves their cynical stupidity. That is absolutely cranical and crazy, but I know it's not fake. Alright. X equals 44. But that is not solvable. See, it is 51, but I already said this wrong. So, yeah.
Angle NQL is 51 degrees.
What?
Angle
I got the right
NQL
answer and it said it
angle
was
PQN
wrong?
are complementary.
See,
So the sum of their measures is 90 degrees. Write an equation to solve for the measure of angle PQN.
So, yeah. I literally got the right answer. I got the right answer and said it was wrong. It's over. It's over. Yeah, and it asks you to find the value of x. If you found the value of x and you try to solve that, you put 51, which is the right answer, and it says, oops, you got it wrong. And this is legit stupid. Well, I mean, show
Substitute 51 degrees for the measure of angle NQL.
Well,
then subtract 51 degrees from both sides of the equation. The measure of angle PQN is 39 degrees.
And ask you to solve that, and that would equal PKN, or PKN, QN. Like, why? This is absolutely stupid. Like, you can't be that crazy, though. If you're legit doing this, well, I mean, it is mathematically
in the figure,
solvable,
angle ZWX and angle YVZ are complementary.
So,
find the measure of angle
formula, I'm gonna try to
ZWX.
solve it. You ready, guys? You ready? Let's see how much it doesn't make sense at all. Okay. So, let's turn on the music. And right. Here we go. Insanity. Alright. This appears to be a 90-degree angle. So the angle appears to be 786. $10.75. So this is impossible. Music glitching out. This iPad's stupid. See? See? So, with iReady, this stupidity. It's not a 100-degree angle? 90-degree angle? Then how about we do... It's also a 90-degree angle, because you see from that score right there, and you're solving a 90-degree angle. So, boom. iReady stupid confirmed. Also, you could also say that this, you try to solve x. These both equal 90, adding them together. So, 10 plus 70. No, 10 plus 80. But that's not right. So there's technically no way to solve it. Oh, stupid.
Confirmed.
Now, what if we try to do something else? Because, yeah, we have to think outside the box due to how incomprehensible the problems are. So we have to go ahead and push through. So 6x plus 60 equals 90. Which means now let's just say 40 is 6x. 40 divided by 6. See? It's impossible. Can't solve it. Boom! iReady stupid confirmed. And if it's a 180-degree angle...
Busy with Easter prep? Target Circle 360 makes
No.
it easy. From fun baskets
Also,
to
we
everything
don't like
for
Target's
Easter hosting.
ads.
Get unlimited
We go to Target,
delivery.
but they're still stupid for their ads. All the ads are stupid. Now, 180 degrees. That would mean 120 would equal 6x plus 60. So technically 120. You subtract 180 by minus 60 up. Assuming that 100% proves that 120, this is true. So x is 120. So 120 minus 56. No. Yeah, alright. Just divide 120. Actually 6x. Divide that by 6. You get 20, which is a true value. A true value. No decimal this time. It's alright. Meaning 56, you get 16 plus sound the ringer, sound the ringer. We may have just found X, and we may have just solved it. So 8 times 20 plus 4, you get 164 plus 16. And we solved it! So I already stupid debunked. They're not stupid, actually. So we've just solved a poorly worded problem. There you go, folks. We solved it for real.
Angles ZWX and YVZ are complementary, so their measures add up to 90 degrees.
That technically
Write
just
an equation you can
completely
use to
voids the
solve for
problem's
X.
correctivity. So already is actually stupid. It's confirmed. It's confirmed that the Rob Waldron creative already is stupid! And you guessed it, guys. Subscribe and like for more videos. And that is all, folks. Are you ready? Stupid confirmed.